Hi guys, today we're making Aloo Paratha or flatbread that's stuffed with a cooked potato filling. You can have it for breakfast, dinner, and it even makes a great lunchbox recipe. Across the homes of India, this is made in many different variations. This is how I make it at home. It's quite simple and very tasty. Here's a quick look at all the ingredients. I also mentioned the measurements of each ingredient as and when they are added. First, you want to cook your potatoes. We're using 4 large russet potatoes. I'm adding them to my small pressure cooker to speed things up a bit. The potatoes are best cooked in the skin, and when you do this, if you make a light incision all around the center of the potato, it makes it much easier to peel them once they're cooked. I add them to the pressure cooker, and 5 steams later, the potatoes are cooked perfectly. Peel the potatoes and mash them. It's fine to have a few chunks in there, but not too many. Now we can make our potato masala or aloo bhaji. To a non-stick pan or wok, add a couple of tablespoons of oil in heat. Add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds and allow to pop. Once the seeds have popped, add 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds and allow them to sizzle. Now we can saute our onion, garlic, and green chili. We're adding the chopped garlic, a fair amount here. This is half a cup of finely minced garlic. I like to add the garlic first to help release the flavor and fragrance more efficiently. To this, before it turns brown, add 1 cup of chopped onions and allow to soften. Now we can add 1 or 2 tablespoons of finely minced green chili. The green chili has been seeded to reduce heat. Now we can add our spice powders. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of coriander powder. You can add more coriander powder if you like a stronger flavor. To this, add 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Stir and briefly cook the spices till nice and fragrant, and careful not to burn them. Now we can add our mashed potatoes as well as salt to taste and mix to combine thoroughly. Once the potatoes are mixed well and seasoned thoroughly, we can add our fresh herbs. Here I'm using a large handful of fresh coriander leaf that has been chopped finely, as well as 3 curry leaves that have been chopped as well. So that's our potato filling done and ready. Now we can start to make the dough for the parathas. Add 3 cups of whole wheat flour or atta to a large bowl, as well as salt to taste. I added about half a teaspoon, as well as 1.5 tablespoons of clarified butter or ghee. To this, I've added half a cup of very hot water. Now we're going to mix the flour quickly with the hot water so that all the ingredients are warmed through consistently. This helps to make a softer dough. To this, we can add the remaining amount of water, half a cup to up to 3/4 cups of extra room temperature water. You may not require all the water. Add a little bit at a time till the dough starts to hold together like this. When the flour starts to hold together, start kneading with your hand till it comes together in a ball. All the dry flour should be moistened, and this will help knead it into a ball. The dough should not be sticky. Don't be tempted to add too much water, as this will make the dough sticky. With kneading, the dough will become soft and bouncy. Continue to knead the ball, adding the dry bits of flour to the ball as you roll it around. And eventually you will end up with a nice soft and bouncy ball of dough. This took me about 8 minutes. So we end up with a nice, soft, smooth ball of dough that's elastic and slightly bouncy to the touch. Now roll the dough into a thick rope shape like this, and this helps to pinch off equal quantities to make your parathas. I'm roughly pinching them off into equal sized balls to make the parathas. Adjust the size according to how large you want your parathas to be. The next step is to fill the parathas with the potato filling. Now we need some extra flour for sprinkling on our rolling surface, as well as to dip each ball in to help roll the dough out. Now you're going to roll each ball into a circle that's not too big. It should just be large enough to encase the potato filling. Add 1 or 2 spoons of the potato filling to the center, and then use a pleating action like this to form sort of a dumpling shape. Now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of extra flour and press on this dumpling to flatten it slightly with my hands. I like to place the seam side down when rolling. Now with gentle pressure, we're going to roll out this paratha. Don't exert too much pressure or the potato filling will tear through the paratha and come out. Keep rotating the paratha as you roll. This helps to get an even distribution of the potato. You can see how the potato is being evenly distributed across the entire surface of the paratha, and it's not concentrated in the center, nor does it go off to the sides. So that's why it's important to keep the dough circles to a minimum size. Now I'm going to show you what happens when you roll out the dough into too large a circle like this. When the circle is too big, when we pleat the dough into this dumpling shape, we end up with too much dough on the center of the parathas. This means that when we roll out the paratha, the potato filling gets displaced all to the sides of the paratha, and the center, it remains void of any filling. I hope you found that to be a useful tip. Now we can roast or pan fry our parathas. Lightly grease the surface of your pan or tawa with a little bit of clarified butter, and place one paratha at a time. Now we're going to cook this until the bottom develops golden brown spots, as well as the top gets a few puffed up areas or bubbles. Now when we see this, we can flip it over and cook the paratha on the other side. This time we can add a little bit of ghee or butter and spread with the back of a spoon in circular movements like this. This helps to puff up the paratha evenly so that it is cooked through completely. Once both sides are cooked through, you can remove your parathas to a casserole dish and continue with the remaining parathas. I like to roll and stuff and have one paratha that's on the tawa at the same time, so that by the time I've rolled all my parathas, I've also almost finished frying them. Place all the parathas one on top of the other in your casserole to keep them warm. You can cut them up into wedges to serve if you like. These parathas are great with the side of any curry or side salad. They make a good lunchbox or picnic dish as well. We hope you enjoyed the quick recipe. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.